Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. We are back in the asset viewer to bring to you some other vehicles that are in the files and also some other ordnance options that are around. And also, at the same time, just to kind of talk about how these things will probably get implemented as it goes forward. We obviously had a look at the VT5 earlier, we had a look at the Harrier T Mark 10 and also the Colorado, but there is a bunch of other stuff that is also just sat in the files right now, which who knows whether it'll come in this update or future ones, but hopefully they come pretty soon. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Let's get started. So, this is the VT5. We had a look at it before, right? But guess what? There are actually two VT5s in the files. You have this one, which is the up-armored version, and then you have the standard one, which is this one we had a look at before. So I thought we would have a look at the up-armored version, comparing it to the others. It looks like it adds some slatter armor on the back of it, and also adds a different position for the smoke grenades, and also some additional kind of ERA armor on the side of it, so some kind of composite screen to give it a bit more to it. You can see the kind of screen on the side of the turret there, and then also the screen here and a bit on the front as well. Now, this is probably just some additional chemical protection. Remember, we've seen this quite a lot with a ton of vehicles in the game where they get access to kind of new chemical protection to stop against kind of infantry weapons, and the VT5 is probably exactly the same. So I wouldn't really think this armor is going to make a massive difference, apart from it's going to add a bunch of weight to the vehicle. What is weird is this is actually seen as a completely new vehicle though. So what we might end up getting is we could get a VT5 in the tech tree and then a VT5 squadron vehicle. Or maybe what we'll get is a premium VT5 and then a standard tech tree one, or maybe an event version and then that as well. Remember also the VT5 is an export vehicle. So technically this could come to the Chinese tech tree and then also come to a different tech tree. So in the form of the Type 15 for the Chinese, and then maybe in the future it could come to somebody else. It is only used by China and also Bangladesh right now, so it would kind of make more sense if this vehicle came in as kind of like the squadron vehicle and then the standard tech tree. But whatever happens, there's two of them in the files now, which is pretty fun. Now, obviously, we have some other stuff that's kind of said about. The J11B actually has some pretty interesting stuff too. So, you know how you have this vehicle? This is actually on the dev server, and we will be looking at it later, but it does have some unused aircraft loadouts. Basically, it has some loadouts which have access to the PL-10, and also the PL-17. So this vehicle might be getting even more powerful missiles than the PL-8B and also the PL-12 that it currently has on the dev server. Now, these are strictly in the files, so anything could happen, but I think in general it would be pretty cool if these things actually came in. The cockpit is also available for this vehicle. They did actually add it in fully. If you were interested in the cockpit of it, it does look really cool and is also digitalized, which is really nice. There is another kind of naval vehicle in the files as well. We had a look at the Colorado earlier. There is a German vehicle, which is the Schütze class. That you can see right here. This is the M1062, and what it basically is a minesweeper. It's a more modern day minesweeper, though. It was used from 1959 onwards, and I think it has access to a really cool set of weaponry. So this would be something that's more designed around, you know, dealing with submarines and stuff like that. You can see all of the general things on the back that look really cool, but the major weaponry of this is this right here. Now, what is this? Well, this is a Bofors, but it's an L70 Bofors, or as it's known, a 4070. This is on a lot of the very powerful machines in Naval Coastal, and what you'll find from this is something that will be able to just dish out a lot of damage very quickly, especially in this new meta. The problem is it only has that and nothing else. You can see it has the ammo around it, and then that's it. You've got the steering gear, you have the transmission and the engines, then you have the search radar on the top. so you are limited to just one gun and one gun only. I don't know whether this thing will be able to carry depth charges. It kind of looks like it has some space at the back for some things. Maybe these will be used in the future. No idea if they will or not. They kind of just look like decorations on the ship. So yeah, you just have this huge minesweeper, and as you can see there, the Schütze, and all it has on the front is just this big old gun that you can use. But as I said, the 4070 Bofors is very powerful, super rapid fire, and puts out a ton of damage really quickly. So don't just kind of like bat it off and be like, yeah, this is terrible. It actually could be very good. Now, we have a new set of bombs as well for the Germans. So the SD series is being expanded. You actually have some other SDs that are already in the game, so these ones. But the SDs are going to a kind of crazy level. So you have the 250, which is this one. You have the 500, and then also you have access to a 1,000-kilo bomb, a 1,400-kilo bomb, and the big old 1,700-kilo bomb too. Now, if you don't know, the SDs, or the Spreng Bomb Dick Van Diggs, which are what they actually stand for, these are fragmentation bombs. So super good in War Thunder. They basically are the main bombs that people use in terms of it, because they're mainly HE focused. Generally, they do technically have an armor piercing setup to it, but mainly you use something like this because it's full of either Amatol or TNT and about 80 kilos of it. So you can make this go a bit crazy on the 250, and of course on the 1700, which this one is, it's going to have a much bigger warhead as it goes in. So look forward to these types of bombs being added to the German vehicles going forward. I'll be very surprised if, they don't add these pretty soon. And as I said, there is some of the older bombs, the SD-70, the SD-50, and you can see the difference in quality between these things is just huge. These are the SD-10A bombs, which I think are on the hydroplane Heinkel, which you only see on those. So yeah, it's a massive upgrade on what these look like. They look so much nicer at the same time. Talking about more bombs that they're adding, so this time it's Israeli editions. Israel are actually getting some unique bombs. You can see here they are guided munitions, and this is the SPICE bomb. So SPICE stands for Smart, Precise, Impact, and Cost Effective, which is all of the words that you want to hear if you are a warmonger. Basically, you have the SPICE 2000 here, and then also you have the SPICE 250, which this just, I don't know whether this is a glide bomb or not. It kind of looks like a glide bomb, right? So with the wings coming out the side, unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a setup for it. There is a rack for it, though, so you can mount these things. But yeah, so you have a glide bomb version of this, which is the 251, and then you have the 2000, which, to be honest, looks more like a kind of standard paveway deal, which is pretty cool. And the whole point of this system is very similar to stuff like the paveway and also the GNSS stuff. This is to take a standard dumb or unguided bomb and change it into a precision guided bomb. And that's, what this does. The major use of this is to give it satellite guidance, so GNSS, and to make it so it can hit a specific target as it seeks in. So that, to me, is actually really cool. And generally, it's something that I think we'll see kind of going forward. Wouldn't be surprised if this turned up on some of the higher tier Israeli vehicles very soon, especially when it comes to the game. So there's a lot of stuff in the files, just kind of set around the place, some munitions, and also some new vehicles. So look forward to those in the future, and look forward to all the content over today and tomorrow, looking at the dev server stuff. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem Aslan,
Uncle Bean and Derek R. for supporting the channel.